So I recently moved to college. Yes, I know, exciting, isn't it? There's no parents constantly telling you what to do. You get to build lifelong friendships, and of course, college parties, which I've totally been invited to like all of them. And of course, we have classes as well. I wanted to go just for friends and parties, but they made me take classes as well if I wanted to live in the dorms. So now I'm living in a dorm that's the size of a closet. I love to make stuff, but now I have limited space and materials. So this is Campus Crafting, where I teach you how to make fun, nerdy things with not a lot of supplies. Today I'm going to be making a dice tower inspired by Rapunzel's tower, but mine is going to be made out of a Pringles can. I start with a sketch and of course a snack. For this craft, I used a can of Pringles, clay, paint, craft foam, scissors and an X-Acto knife, fake grass or shrubs, a pencil, glue, and paintbrushes. The first thing I wanted to do was make the bricks peeking out from underneath, so I started by putting a thin layer of clay on the outside of my Pringles can. This is what I will carve my bricks into. I don't have any fancy clay tools, so I just used a pencil to round out the edges and make it look nice and smooth. Then I started drawing my horizontal lines for my bricks, that way everything lined up nicely. I carved out the door where I wanted the dice to come out of and scooped the clay out of there. Next, I marked off the areas where I wanted to put the bricks. Since I wanted my bricks to be peeking out from underneath, I decided that the best way to make it look like that is to add another layer of clay on top. That way the bricks really would be peeking out from underneath. So I carved out my bricks and then covered the other areas with another layer of thin clay. I used the pencil to smooth it out again. I turned my attention to the roof. I made it by making a cone out of craft foam. Then I cut out the window with my X-Acto knife. And this is where the dice will go in. To make the inside of the tower, I started by cutting a bunch of circles, and then I took those circles and cut them all in half and made them semicircles, and then I took the semicircles and I glued them all back together again to make the stairs. I found that it was best to glue them in stacks of 4 and then glue those stacks of 4 together to make the spiral staircase on the inside of the tower. I added this little stopper on the end of the staircase, that way the dice would roll right out the door and wouldn't keep going past it. I checked to make sure that the staircase fit inside of the tower before I kept going. I put the top on and did a test run. Then, just like Rapunzel's tower, I painted the top purple. Then, I got to start painting the main body of the tower. I started with some gray for the bricks, and I made sure to get lots of paint down in the crevices. Next was this tan for the rest of the outside of the tower. This took a lot of layers so that it would be nice and thick and you couldn't see the orange clay through it. Using one of my tiniest paintbrushes, I was able to add a little bit more detail into the bricks by putting some darker gray down in the crevices. I dry brushed some lighter gray on top of the bricks to give them a more worn look. And finally, some darker gray around the edges finished off the bricks. I repeated this process on the rest of the building by using a dark brown around the edges. Next up, my favorite part. I got these little packets of green shrubs from Hobby Lobby. A dab of Mod Podge will hold these little bushes of greenery up. These last few details really bring it to life, and then it's time to put it all together. Hot glue holds the staircase in place, and a few test runs prove that it still works. Brown foam with some greenery on top makes it the perfect place for a tower to sit. Some more Mod Podge holds down all of the green grass. I pat it down just so that it gets nice and stuck on there. After a few more layers of grass, I add some more Mod Podge and some of the other greenery that I have. After these last few details, I'm finally finished with the tower. A giant mound of hot glue holds the tower onto its base.